Hey, welcome back traders. I am back from my trip. I got a lot of things to catch up on. ICT does have a couple new videos that I want to cover and give you my thoughts. I still have to record the second part of my back testing video for you guys, but for this video, I want to go over my market outlook for the upcoming week. Now, being the first week of the month, we do have to be a little bit cautious. It tends to be choppy during the non-farm payroll week, and we got to watch out for that non-farm payroll Friday. But let's go ahead and get started with S&P on the weekly chart. Now looking at the weekly chart, we have sell side below these relative lows and buy side resides above these relative highs. Now between here, there's not really anything to note on the weekly chart in terms of inefficiencies. The only thing I want to point out is this wick right here, or tail. I want to mark out 50% of that, but let's go ahead and jump into the daily chart. Okay, so going into the daily, we have buy side above here and then sell side below here. If I were to pick whether or not I favor the buy side or sell side, I think for now I am still going to favor the buy side. I glimpsed at ICT's most recent Shotgun Saturday, and he said he favored the downside, but I mean, I can see the sell side liquidity, but I still favor the upside for both the indices. Because if you take a look at the most recent dealing range, if you go from this high to low, we have been consolidating last week, mostly at a premium. Price does seem like it's refusing to go lower. And if you look at the drop on Monday, it went back into this daily fair value gap. And then we've been pretty much consolidating. And up here, these prices right here, it looks pretty flat. So I still favor the upside. Now, I'm going to admit that I'm going to be wrong and looking to switch my bias to the downside if we start trading below this daily fair value gap. I'm looking at this kind of as a last line of defense, even though there is a volume imbalance below it, but I really don't want to see price go below this fair value gap. Now we do have half of that weekly tail. It's kind of close to the daily tail as well, half of the daily tail. I want to see this used as support. Hopefully before we get to this fair value gap. I really don't want it to trade the fair value gap, but ideally I do want the price to go above this daily void, use it as support to springboard price above these relative highs, creating a new all-time high for S&P. Now moving on to the Nasdaq on the weekly chart, I do have sell side below these lows, but I don't think these are going to be in play as of right now. More importantly are the sell side below these relative lows. There's a couple that are nearby, so I'm just using the lowest one here and I'm marking it out as the weekly sell side. Buy side, I'm using these two relative highs as the buy side. I'm not really looking at the all-time high just now. I'm not sure if we're going to go up there or not. I mean, if we do start going above these relative highs, we could revisit this, but right now I'm just looking for these relative highs as my target. And then last week, we do have a really long tail here as well. I'm using half of this wick as, well, we'll see what we use it for. Now going down to the daily, you can see why I want to pay more attention to these relative lows as sell side, because we do have this daily fair value gap right underneath it. We have 1, 2, 3 relative lows, so a lot of sell side in this area. If we do return back into this daily fair value gap, it could use it as support and we could bounce from here and not really going to this low, at least for the time being. However, same as S&P, I am favoring the upside for now. Price is consolidating, but it's kind of looking like it's wanting to go to the upside and stay away from the downside. So I'm using the weekly tail 50% of that, and then we're using this daily tail 50% of that. I'm going to be using this as support. I want to see price bounce off of these. I don't want to see price trade through them, at least not yet, not until we take out the buy side. We do have the daily void here. We have been trading away from it. I would like to see price in this week go above this daily void and use it as support, or even use half of this upper wick right here as support to bounce price above these relative highs for the buy side. And then if we do get there, then I'll think about revisiting the all-time high. But for right now, my target is going to be these two relative highs. Now for Nasdaq, I do want to go one time frame lower into the 4-hour chart. We can see that last week we did trade up into this 4-hour SIBI, and then we see a pretty big decline going back through the daily void, going through this 4-hour void. Now it has a body laying over it. There's going to be these two swing lows down here, so I think price may be able to take out these two swing lows, but I'm still looking for both of these 50% of the lower wick to play a role as support. And then I want to see some kind of market structure shift on the lower time frame to aim for the relative highs for the buy side target. Now, where I'm going to be wrong is if we start trading below these relative lows, I mean below 50% of these wicks right here, and if I start seeing them being used as inversion, then I guess my attention is going to turn down towards the sell side liquidity below. So I hope you enjoyed an analysis opposed to ICT's bias. If you did, please give this video a like. Also, I do have more videos coming. I will be taking a look at ICT's videos and giving you my thoughts on his most recent lectures. And I'm also got some backtesting videos coming up, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on those. And I hope you stay safe during non-farm payroll week. And until next time, safe trading.